चेतदर्पणमार्जनम् भव महादावाग्नि निर्वापनम् श्रेयकैरव चन्द्रिका वितरणम् विद्यावधू जीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनम् प्रतिपदम् पूर्णामृत स्वादनम् सर्वात्मा स्नपनम् परम् विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम् नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस् तत्रार्पिता नियमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवं मीदृशाम् इह जनी नानुरागः तृणादपि सुनिचना तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनिया सदा हरि हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे तो তোমার নাম শুনে এসেছি গো ও গৌর চাও করুণা নয়নে তোমার নাম শুনে এসেছি গো আমি বহুদিন আশা ধারি আমি বহুদিনের আশা ধারি আমারে দিন হতে ঘুচাও কেন গো দিন হতে ঘুচাও কেন তোমার নাম শুনে এসেছি গো সুখ দেব দুঃখ নেব বলে গৌর আমার সুখ দেব দুঃখ নেব বলে সুখ দেব দুঃখ নেব ঘরের বাহির করেছিলে তুমি বলা কথা গেলে ভুলে গৌর হে তুমি বলা কথা গেলে ভুলে তোমার নিজের কথা নাই মনে গৌর নিজের কথা নাই মনে তোমার নাম শুনে এসেছি গো ও গৌর চাও করুণা করুণা নয়নে কেউ যদি থাকতো গো আমার এমন করা কি সাজতো গো তোমার ও গৌর সুখে দুঃখে তুমি আমার ফেলো না গো আগুনে গো ফেলো না গো আগুনে তোমার নাম শুনে এসেছি গো এলে পতিত তারাইতে এলে প্রাণে তোমার নাম শুনে এসেছি গো গৌর যাও করুণা নয়নে তোমার নাম শুনে এসেছি গৌর গৌর হে আমার
That was fantastic. Welcome to the Baiṭhak, YaarAnād Baiṭhak, Parvathy. Thank you so much for taking time out. Can you hear me?
Yes, of
Oh,
course.
okay. So, I mean, you didn't even say hello to back to me. Come on.
Oh,
I said hello, welcome, da da da. You know, it's like the दुनिया का
ah,
तमाशा है ना. तमाशे में यही होता है. आप कहेंगे, oh hi, how are you? And you say, oh yeah, hi, Baibaldeep. You know.
yeah, you know what happens is that I keep on meeting you so often that it has become so natural. So,
Like we
and
now, yeah, we're bored of each other now. Yeah, अच्छा, अच्छा, पाइबलदीप, हाँ हाँ, ठीक है. पार्वती कौन? क्या? कौन पार्वती?
so it is really nice to be with you and share this moment. And we will try to go more into reflections of, songs and poem and the inner meaning of the poem and all of that. It's more like a immersion, I would say.
Yeah,
And so it's actually basically a satsang with you, and there's so much to know from you as well. So I look forward to listen to all your stories too.
oh, look at that.
Uh,
I'm the one who's talking. I mean, asking questions.
no,
What to
actually,
ask?
I come to know so many things when I talk to you.
Oh, yeah, I'm used to that.
Even in a 10 minutes conversation, I mean, there is something new, a new information I always come to know. It is so wonderful how much you have studied. It's
Yeah,
really
thank
beautiful work of your life.
That's very
I
kind.
am not so much a scholar, I am
Oh
more
gosh,
into
really? I didn't know that.
I I am more into the I like to immerse in it. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not saying that you are not.
Oh,
But
thank God. Thank God.
no, but it's like, you know, I feel that I want to live the experience,
Yeah.
and I am ready to do any I'm ready to go any further for that.
Mm,
Any sadhana that I
yeah.
have to do, because I really want to test
Mm,
how it tastes, the name of Hari. So
yeah. I mean, I think it's important to share that me and Parvathy were discussing about some of the roots of the words, and today me and her were reflecting on the term "sai," and she's going to be teaching a composition to my class later in the night at 9, which begins with the word "sai." So we had a wonderful discussion, and what we together we were discussing what we found out, and we were reflecting, reveling in the idea that sai is a term which connects at the same time the trekal, if we say trekal darsi, if I may borrow that terminology, in the sense sai is the parmeswara, is the Allah, karta purkh parmeswara, or akal purkh vaheguru. uh, and sai is also the guru who connects the seeker, uh, who marries the groom, seeker, the soul, with the groom, the karta, with the seeker, the soul. So the actual teacher, the enabler of the ornamentation of the margi, of the sadhu, prepares. And as Kabir Sahib says, ke, uh, कहे कबीर मोहे ब्याहे चले हैं पुरख एक भगवाना. सो मुझे अब एक जो पुरख भगवान है वो मुझे ब्याह के ले चले हैं. 33 करोड़ देवी देवते मेरी बारात, उसकी बारात में आए हैं, मुझे लेके जाने, मेरी डोली लेके जाने आए हैं. So that is that. And then the seeker is also Sai, the one who does the mashakkat. So it's, I mean, whenever me and Parvati we talk of the old texts, and then we sort of we then drown in the joy of the extraordinary marvels that there are, even the terms, the roots, the etymologies of these words. So it is always such a pleasure. I mean, actual practitioners, there are many who are sort of very dogmatic, and they are loyal to their own system of or the ritual within them. But then there are margis who, as Guru Arjan says, koi jan harsyon deva jor, कोई जन, वहाँ पे ये नहीं है कि मेरा ही जन हो, मेरा साथी हो, somebody from my clan, somebody from my gurukul, from my ashram, from my marga. Guru Arjan says कोई जन, anybody would do, पर मुझे जोड़ दे हरि से. Anybody would do. I don't care who. Anybody please bind me. मेरे मेरी मेरी ना टूटी हुई मेरी जो प्रीत और प्रतीत की डोरी है, as बाबा ठाकुर जी would say, वो जो है उससे बांध दे. So that's always a very moving experience, as Manjeet Kaur is saying, confirming that this is indeed a satsang, which I'm so glad to hear that. So, uh, tell us about the initial invocation that you did, Parvathy, in the beginning. It was just a wild thought I had that we in the Gurbani Sangeet Parampara, we start with the shan, of course, the playing of the instruments, the percussion. Actually, it's nowadays some people have started the stouse or the Dilruba solo playing in the beginning, which is not true, because that instrument solo strings is reserved within part of the singing. But in the beginning, the playing of the shan was scintillating, very intricate, complex, reflecting the complexity of the world that there is. The how complex and dire is the fight with the Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Mohankar, Hat, Nindya, Chugli, Bakhili. These are very entire. They trap you. The Maya Jal, the Maya's fun, the dung, the bite of the Maya. It's very very tasty. Poisonous but tasty. It's like a killer. It's like entraps you in a labyrinth. So that is what is reflected with the percussion. Ruthless. That is where we are. And then the mukas come that I'm not tired, that I'm defeated, please. And then the Mangalacharan comes, hey Parmeshwar, keep
Hmm.
save me. So there's a logic. I mean, these new age people, who think that they are scholars or they are great ustads of Gurbani Sangeet, they don't know the actual philosophy and the logic, how it is directly related to that. There's a beautiful composition which reflects this idea is Jap Gobind Gopal Lal, Pran Ram Naam Simar Tu Jive, Firna Khai Mahakal. And then he says, Koti Janam Bhram Bhrami Bhrami Ayo. Koti Janam Bhrami 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 Ayo. Bade Bhag Sad Sang Milayo.
Hmm.
And then he says, Bin Gur Pure Nahi Udhar, Baba Nanak Akh hai Iho Vichar. So, the process of Brahm, 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 Ayo, and then the appearance, the origin of Ardas, the Prarthana, ki, I have done everything. I'm defeated. I was not able to attain contentment. I have not been able to answer the most basic questions. What is this world? Where am I from? Where am I headed? Who am I? So, is there happiness eternal? Because I am faced with dukh and the sukh here. That the sukh can be very misleading and can fool me, can trap me. But then in the end, I am heartbroken. Sukh is short lived. To hold on to sukha. If I have sukha, there are termites who want to either steal that sukha away or want to dilute my sukha away. So anything good that comes with a fear. It comes as if it's like an addiction that be addicted to me, but then now I am defeated. How do I do?
Hmm.
So that is the idea of invocation, the Mangalacharan, and then the song, the sloka of the context that day, if the mind is being addressed that day, to look at kama or at krodha or lobha, then the actual text would then lead up. Could you kindly share, Parvati, about the invocation that you therefore did at my request, and how it is, the parampara related, and what is the thought process behind that?
Yeah, it is quite sounds similar that in most of our tradition, we start with this drumming
Right.
in Baul too, with the shrikhol. So we call hatuti. Hatuti is the beginning of the uh, singing, and it is the invocation. It is, and then the string instruments that would play. And but now, because I'm sitting here with my ektara in my room, I don't have such possibility to do. So I just did a stotra, that is a very important teaching, and that is the core teaching of Baul, of a Vaishnav. How, what is uh, the meaning of Baul, or what is the meaning of a Vaishnav devotee, or why we would sing and dance. What is the reason we sing and dance? So this is the 8 slokas. It is called Shikshashtakam. The 8 Shiksha slokas. It is written in Sanskrit. It was composed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's not known how he sang it, but we find this in the Sri Krishna Kabiraj Sri Chaitanya Charitamritam, this grantha. It is the Mool grantha. It is the main text for all the people who follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And even for Baul, this is a very important text. And in this, in the last chapter, Mahaprabhu, he had many disciples, and they were very learned and wise. They wrote many books and explained the shastras of devotion, and emphasized on this longing or yearning for Krishna, and the aspects of Krishna and Vishnu, Lord. It's really so enriching, this literature of Vaishnava literature that was created within the span of 100 years of Mahaprabhu. So many people, so many wonderful books came out. Like Ujjal Nilamani is one of the very important one. Um, then Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Uh,
Right.
so but the interesting part is that, what is very nice when I talk to you is that you have such sense of humor that
Really?
oh really, I didn't know that. And then and in that makes things sahaj, when we talk about tradition, or when we talk about some very important text, it might sound little heavy, but actually if we really go inside it, it is so so much merging with our life, even our breath, that it is not something so distant. This is what is about the Baul, because it is sahaj. And you can see that a master who is completely immersed when he's singing or having a satsang, he is only talking so high philosophy, and suddenly he said, ah, you didn't put sugar in my tea, you know so so it is that sahaj that you can quickly, turn things from this side to the other side, and because the connection inside is always there. So here is a little humor that I want to share, is that
Sure.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disciples, they have written such huge books. Sometimes they look thick like that, and but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself had written only 8 slokas, which finish in
That's
one page, and that was all he said. This is my teaching, and keep this. So this is wonderful, and from that 8 slokas, how many things have come. So it is the 8 slokas that I sang. It is called Sikshashtakam,
I
and
see.
it is so beautiful. I didn't sing you the all the 8 slokas. I sang you only the first 4 slokas,
Mm,
but I will share the meaning with you, because uh, this is how a bowl should be.
mm,
This is what we should cultivate in us. It says Chet Darpanamarjanam. So the dust that is accumulated in the mirror of the heart, uh, that to clean that dust, I sing Harinam, I sing the praise. By singing, this dust goes away, and this inner mirror, it starts reflecting the moon of Chaitanyam, or the higher consciousness.
Right.
And and this, when this light shines, then all the sufferings of the world goes away. The 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 drops, the nectar of the name, drops of nectar, they fall into this bhava davagni, or the fire from the world, and it slowly goes down, or you know uh, then it says nama nama kari bahuda. So in this second shloka is that your name has your presence. The moment you sing the name of the Lord, and it is very clearly said, how is the name? Name is not just a few alphabet put together and it's just a bunch of sound.
Hmm.
A name has to be in a way, when we take the name, it must resonate in our body. The sound should vibrate, and the tears must come. There should be goosebump in the body. You must see, your eyes should go upward and see only the presence of the beloved on your forehead. And in that way, if somebody takes the name, then one feels the sannidhya of the name of Hari. So sannidhya of Hari one can experience. So he says that that is why your name has your presence. You are present in your name, because somebody can sing in that way. Then we'll see Hari. And and Chaitanya says, I'm so unfortunate that I have no longing for these things for your name. And I did not do all the worship that was necessary. So it is, I mean, when you look at the sadhakas, the humility that is there is, it is always to think that something is always much bigger than what we know or what we think we have achieved. So even for Chaitanya, who is completely one with the Lord, still for him he feels that I am so unfortunate that I don't have any longing for your name, to chant your name. This is one way to see that he's talking about him himself, but it is also impersonal, because he's talking for us too. He's telling us about us. It's not the person who is regretting that I cannot take the name or something like that. It is the fundamental question for everybody, that sometimes we forget, we make mistakes, and we forget to chant the name, and then we think that we have fallen. But it's possible to get up and chant again. So this is what he's trying to remind us. And after that is my favorite line, the attitude of sadhaka, attitude of a practitioner, how it should be. He said, Trinadapi sunijana, stand lower than a grass, that anybody can walk on you. Let everybody walk on you. But like the grass, if you walk on it, it will bow down. But when the person is gone, it stands again. So, but never bend, stand like a tree. So the tree, whether you love it or not love it, you cut it branches, it will always give you shade, fruits, and flowers. A sadhaka must have a compassionate heart like that. No matter how hard it is for him, no matter how much he's criticized or not understood, but he must be always there with a compassionate heart and serve. And Kirtanya Sadahari, Amanina Manadana, love all and respect all. See in everything Krishna, Krishna only. And Kirtaniya Sadahari, sing the praise of Hari Ram. Because the word is so important, what we utter. And we can utter things only what we can think. So these are all interlinked, the thought and speech. So if we, because thought is so, you know, ruthless that it does not listen to you so quickly. But with the discipline, we can control our speech and use words only what is necessary and which always utters the praise and positivity. Then it will slowly have impact on our thoughts. So this is why the teacher Acharya like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us this way. So this is the, I mean, I can go on
Yeah,
explaining
yeah,
this
please, please.
sloka.
No, 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 please, please. This is fantastic. Yeah,
It's my, I mean, we sing this almost every day.
I see.
So, and then there is another, the next comes that, this I haven't sang, but I'm telling you. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam ba jagadisha kamai
Uh,
mama.
when you, sorry, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm very particular. I mean, did you just make a confession that you've not sung it?
yeah,
You just confessed.
yeah.
So
From here, I did not sing.
how do we remedy that? I mean, I don't want you to confess.
I will sing and tell you. Oh, you are so. I mean, you can easily make me a fool. Anyway, okay.
No apologies. I'm the I'm incarnation of apologetic-lessness,
Okay.
apology-lessness.
So I will sing with my tambura.
Would be fantastic. Be my guest. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, this is beautiful.
So the next sloka was Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitamba jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatat bhakti ahetuki. I do not want wealth. I do not want followers. I do not want beautiful men or women. I don't even want the beautiful poem, not even the ultimate liberation or meeting Jagadish, the Sri Krishna himself. What I want is your blessing that whenever, if I am born again and again, that I am born only with bhakti and I have this unconditional love for you and I live my life with your name. Aye nandatanuja kinkaram patitam vishame bhabam budho कृपया तव पाद पंकजा Sthitadhauli Satrisham Vichintaya. O the son of Nanda, I have fallen in the ocean of worldliness, the ocean that is full of poison of desires, of expectations, of transactions. The only light I see is you. Please make me a dust at your feet. Yugayatam Nayanam Galadashrudharaya Vadanam Gadgada Ruddhaya Gira Pulakayer Nichitam Vapuhu Kada Tavanamagrahane Bhavishati. O Lord, when will it happen that the moment I take your name, my eyes fills with tears, my speech stops, I experience goosebumps all over my body, and my mind becomes only focused on you? When will that happen to me? Yugayatam nimeshana chakshushat pravarashayatam shunnayatam jagat sarvam Govinda 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 Birahe Name. My beloved Krishna, even a moment of separation from you seems to me endless years, like ages. But you are present in your longing, in my longing. Asli Shabapādaratam Vinashtuvam Adarshanam Marmahatam Karotu va Yatha Tatha Vavidhatu Lampato Mat Prananathastu Sa Evana Para. No matter how you handle me, sometimes you handle me with love, and sometimes you handle me roughly. Sometimes you show me yourself, and sometimes you hide. Sometimes you break my heart. Doesn't matter at all. I will always remain your servant at your feet. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
It's beautiful, very beautiful. Um, the raga that you're singing here, I love this instrument. When I come, you know that I'm going to be stealing that away from you. Haha.
This
So
is, yeah, I will get one for you. Don't worry.
I said I'm going to steal that one.
This one. अच्छा ठीक है,
So,
जब मिलेंगे तब मेरा इसको लॉक करके रखेंगे
हाँ, वो
तो
ताले
नहीं।
तोड़ने मुझे आते हैं, कोई ऐसी बात नहीं। ताले खोलना भी जानता हूँ, पर मैं तोड़ने में ज़्यादा स्वाद लेता हूँ। um, the rag, I want to go to the musical aspect for a moment. You're singing Zagagama apa damaga re gama re re sa re sa ni ni sa re re sa. What do you call this? I mean, I may not be singing exactly what you were singing, but the notes at least were
it has no name actually. It must be having something in the past, but I haven't come across. But it is
interesting.
not really. It has so
So,
many notes.
so let's look into this melody lines. Where does it exist? Uh,
Yeah.
let me show you in original lines of Guru Arjan Dev.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it goes tera tera mukh sohava jiyo tera mukh sohava jiyo tera. See, similar Gandhar. तेरा मुख सोहावा जियो सहज धुन बाणी सहज धुन रे रे मा प म ध प सहज धुन बाणी चेर होवा देखे सारंग पानी तेरा मुख सोहावा जियो तेरा goes अंतरा goes धन स्वदेश
Aha.
धन स्वदेश जहाँ तू बसया मेरे सजन मीत मुरारे जियो हाँ घोली हाँ गोल घुमाई गुर सजन मीत मुरारे जियो तेरा मुख सुहावा जियो तेरा मुख सुहा राग माज.
Oh, Marge.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the old Kafi Mēlā March. We have two kinds of March. In fact, I had a wonderful conversation with Ashish Khan Ustad Ashish Khan, Ali Akbar Khan Saab's son, on
Yeah.
Rag Maj, and he was so surprised that he said that my grandpa would have certainly then, and my father would have taken it from the Gurbani because they used to sing and travel a lot. And when I mentioned the two Majas, and the other one is the Khamajang Maj, it goes. Ramaiya Gon Gaya. Pancham Savari.
Hmm.
Ramaiya. Old Darbar Sahib, golden temple tradition, where it was very, very intense connection with Bengal. Everybody used to go there. Rabindranath Tagore, his father, grandfather, great grandfather, they all used to go and for weeks and weeks every year. This is from that tradition. Pancham
I,
15 days.
I-
Ramayya
I-
Gondai. Yeah.
and this Rag Maj, wo kaun sa, like, which is the source it's coming from?
Oh, it's there in the Gurbani. All the gurus, I mean, the gurus have sung it. Uh,
Hmm.
Bhagats have sung it. So it's an ancient raga.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
very
Bhagat,
rare. I mean,
Samaj and
it's
other people sing, but the pure Maj, it's gone. It's not there. Like Rag Gond is not there. I addressed it the other day when I was at the Savitri Bai Phule Pune University during my like my paper. I shared the original Rag Gond, which still exists in the Gurbani Sangeet tradition. So this is the other Maj is where the Panisa Sangat is quite predominant in that sense. The Pancham Savari goes like that. Aramaiya Gon Gaya Jate Vaiya Param Nidhan Sorag Basena Bachiya डरिए ना नरक निवास होना है सोई है मन ना की जय आस रमैया
uh,
Gona Gaya. This is Ragama Ni Dapa Magere Sani Pani Nisa. Sagama Pani Sade Sani Dapa Magere Sa. This is a march of the Khamajang. It's a very, very important raga. So I was like, whoa, that's like amazing. I have to ask
so
about the melody. So this is Rag Maj actually, how we know it as pure Maj,
so
pure Maj.
yeah, so much variations in raga that we see, and in these old songs they're still keeping these ragas. I
Yeah.
mean, some even uh, many practitioners, they don't even know, like, the names or anything like that, but they're singing that, and
Yes.
purely they're singing. And
In
this
Gurbani
is
also, there are many elders
huh,
they don't know the rag, but they sing. So and the important storekeepers, and somebody is a grammarian who would know Kansa hai because there are other references.
yeah, yeah. And this poem that you sang now.
It's from Kabir Sahib.
Oh, okay.
He says,
Can we
Ramaiya
know
gud
the
gaiya jante paiya param nidhan. And he says, Surga Vasana Bachiya. Don't have the Vasana for Swarga Nivas, huh? Of the Swarga, of heaven. And Daryana Narka Nivas. And don't be afraid of residing in hell.
uh yeah.
Just Surga Vasana. Surga Vasana Bachiya. Don't keep it. The Vasana for the Swarga. Daryana Narak Neva. It's like almost like making it marketable, the idea of residing in hell. He's like almost being a real estate agent from hell. Don't be afraid, my baby boys and baby boy girls. Come on, let's reside in hell. It's not a problem because Swarga has become very crowded, he says. You see, everybody is Swargavasi. He says, I am alone, all alone. Even devil is residing in hell because he also was so enticed by the idea. So nobody there in hell. So I'm enjoying it. I mean, that's my approbamsh.
I feel that when a sadhak talks about the heaven and hell as equal, is basically to keep an attitude that is continuous
Mm.
to the marga, or to the path. So it doesn't matter, like Chaitanya, he said in a sweet way that doesn't matter how he handles me, roughly or with sweetness, whether he shows me himself and then next moment he cheats me, breaks my heart, doesn't matter, I will be there as his servant always. So I think this is the attitude he's talking about, when it doesn't matter whether it's heaven or hell, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, tell me.
Yeah, I know. I've been looking at, no, in the Baul tradition, the Nanak Panthi, the Udasi connections. Maybe Rag Maj is sung by Guru Nanak because he traveled. Maybe that's the first clue of that Shruti, of Nanak's Shruti, that
Yeah,
I
so
found. I mean, I've not found a text yet, but at
yeah,
least the Ragic Dhun, because Dhwanis remain. When a Grand Master visits, and Baba Sri Chand, who continued the Udasi Samprada for, he lived 120-25 years or something like that. And so maybe these melodies have remained because Grand Masters are remembered by their Shruti at times, the Dhuni, that they are the number that that becomes a hit. In the old times, there used to be hit numbers as well. They would be suddenly, the songs would spread like wildfire, like that. But
yeah,
that's an
yeah,
amazing, as you say, um, find for me of the day, that the invocation, and it's an amazing raga, the Gandhar and the Tivra Gandhar, the Fark, the antara between the two, ascent and descent, where the ascent is the idea of the Vijog, and then the Sanjog, the Gandhar is the description of the trouble that I am in. The Gandhar, the Komal Gandhar is the advent of prayer, the counter. So it's a very, very powerful, a very rare raga. It has not become famous because it requires a certain spiritual state to be able to. These are the ragas of the sadhus. And at
mm,
times, even the Darbari Sangeetkars who were students of the Nirankari Gavaiyas, the sadhus, they respected at times that we will not sing the Shruti in front of a patron. When our own teachers and masters are singing this in the service of the Parmeswara, so we will
mm.
not insult these ragas, these dhvanis, by singing them in front of a king or a queen or a begum or an emperor or this and that. So at times there was a certain etiquette at that time, which meant that very few knowledge streams have a memory of those, and other lesser or odd common ragas became even more common and easily accessible or were in immediate memory.
Yeah, this was very clear in the past. This, I have been talking to many bidwans who are uh, I mean, great musicians who have been connected to these old uh, paramparas. Like there is one person in Kolkata, his name is Shomjit Dasgupta. He plays everything. I think you should invite him for some time in his program.
Oh, I
So
don't know
he
him.
plays.
Would you be
He
kind enough to introduce?
Yes, yes, of course. I'll introduce, because he also collects instruments
Yeah, I
from.
mean, I
Yeah.
only published the first ever Dhurpadi Rabab played by him in 2005. That's it. I only toured a bit his Rabab. So
Oh yes, you know him. So that's great. So Somjit Da is someone that we all often have discussion about music and
yeah,
ragas, and he's so knowledgeable. He's the student of Radhika Mohan Moitro, Radhu Babu. You must be knowing the great Radhu Babu.
yeah,
So from Somjit Da, I had come to know that in Radhika Mohan Moitro's darbar, because they were from the royal
yeah.
families like
There was
lords.
a Zamidar. Huh?
Yeah, so they had you know a would serve, or gathering where there is to be all kinds of sangeet happening, like the darbari sangeet and the marga sangeet that is coming from the ashram sangeets. and the bowls, fakir, everything is to be one. It was not separated, and it was very clear about the singing style, which was darbari. So uh, the darbari sangeet was not really sung in the ashram territory, because that was more for the entertainment and poetical literature and things. Ashram sangeet was purely vairagi, and they would be singing a certain raga which is very pure in its nature, in the sense uh, very deep, very meditative in its certain notes, especially with the as you were saying, the gandhar and the nishad. So when you look at the ashram sangeet ragas, that the variations of these two notes, that is to create a lot of different effect, I feel.
Marissa, if you can keep the door closed, please. Yeah, sorry for that.
Yeah. So there was a really a very clear distinction between ashram sangeet, the sangeet for the sadhaks, and the sangeet of the darbar. And I think if we look at things from that perspective, for us to immerse in the music also will be much easier. That's I feel even today, and because the attitude and everything is like really different. The feeling is very different. So. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you that I came across a raga. Maybe I'm just curious to know that if you have come across such a raga. It's called Gandhar, and uh, there is one song of Sri Narottam Das. Narottam Das was disciple of Sri Chaitanya, and he and Vishnupriya together they created um, the style of Vaishnava Padavali Kirtan, which has all this very Drupadi and Ashramic Sangeet. This is absolutely Ashramic Sangeet. So this is a song from there, and it is composed in Gandhar. So maybe there must be
Gandhar, Gandhari,
something.
Dev Gandhari. So there are, yeah, there
Ha,
are ragas like
but
that.
this is not Dev Gandhar. They're
I
saying
know
it's
there's
Gandhar.
Gandhari, Gandhar,
Hmm.
they're there, and Dev Gandhari. Dvi Gandhari, there's two Gandhar. There's
Hmm.
also Dev Gandhar with a single Gandhar.
Yeah. রাধা কৃষ্ণ প্রাণ মোর যুগল কিশোর জীবনে মরণে গতি আর নাহি মোর রাধা কৃষ্ণ প্রাণ মোর যুগল কিশোর কালিন্দির কুলে কেলি 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 কালিন্দির কুলে কেলি কদম্বের রতন বেদির সিংহাসনে বসাবো দুইজন রাধা কৃষ্ণ প্রাণ মোর যুগল কিশোর গাঁথিয়া মালতী মালা মালা গাঁথিয়া মালতী মালা দিব দুহারুরে অধরে তুলিয়া দিব কর্পূর তাম্বুলে অধরে তুলিয়া দিব কর্পূর তাম্বুলে রাধা কৃষ্ণ প্রাণ মোর যুগল কিশোর ললিতা বিশাখায়াদি ললিতা বিশাখায়াদি ললিতা বিশাখায়াদি যত সখী বৃন্দ আজ্ঞায় করিব সেবা চরণার বিন্দ আজ্ঞায় করিব সেবা চরণার বিন্দ রাধা কৃষ্ণ প্রাণ মোর যুগল কিশোর শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু প্রভু শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু দাসের অনুদাস সেবায় অভিলাষ মনে নরোত্তম দাস সেবায় অভিলাষ মাগে নরোত্তম দাস রাধা কৃষ্ণ প্রাণ মোর যুগল কিশোর রাধা কৃষ্ণ প্রাণ মোর যুগল কিশোর.
Where is this from? This composition is from which tradition?
This is from Vaishnava Padavali tradition.
Uh-huh.
But Narottam Das is someone who is sang by the Bauls and the Vaishnavas same time. So the difference between the Baul and Vaishnava is that Vaishnava Padavali is totally based on the Leela of Radha and Krishna,
Right.
the different aspects. So, but the Baul, they have the yoga beside it, like Manasa Tattva, like talking about mind, Deha Tattva, talking about body. So it is more connected to yoga. So this is the difference is there, and also the style is very different. The rhythmical pattern is very different. The way it is sung, uh, and the instruments, no Padavali singer will sing with the Nektara. But we have many songs from Narottam Das Thakur, because Narottam Das Thakur wrote most of the songs for everyday practice. For example, this is the closing song of a ceremony where Radha and Krishna is united, and here he is expressing in this song, because for a Vaishnava,
It's like a
for
happy.
not it's not about happy ending. It's not about hell and heaven. Definitely not. It sounds like because we are Bengalis and we love rasgullas, so we always like sweetness. But the best part is that he is talking about his samadhi in this song, and how it works is so beautiful. If you know the concept, is so beautiful. Is that that he is dasa of the das, the servant of the servant of the servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
mm,
And the Radha place of Radha Krishna is the ultimate, like nobody can cross there. Then comes the Sakhis, is the Lalita, Vishakha, and other Sakhis. Among them, Ashta Sakhi is main, and then the rest of the Sakhis. Then comes the Munjari. Munjari is the one who helps the Sakhis to arrange flowers, to arrange incense and other things for Radha and Krishna to unite. And Narottama Dasa is asking if I can become an assistant to the Munjaris, because the Munjaris are the acharyas. So if I can become a true disciple, an assistant to the Munjaris, that's that's why he's saying Dashe Ranudash. So for a Vaishnav to become this, just this little bit is the samadhi, is the state of samadhi. Just imagine that you're getting an entrance to Radha Krishna's uh, the place of Braj. Braj is here.
mm.
And when you're getting into this space, this is what the sadhaka is looking for. So he wants to become this little servant. That's all. So he's talking about his wish to be with the beloved in this way. So it's not a happy ending in a way. And it is a happy ending.
I mean, a Rasagola with a bit of mirchi in it. Come on.
You see, the thing is that when we talk about Ananda is not it's not about just happiness or something of denial of pain or sorrow. It's not. Ananda is a state of maturity where the mind is absent. The mind does not work, cannot work actually.
Mm.
So it's not about this. It's when there is no mind, how can there be whether happiness or sorrow? It cannot be. So
That's true. And I want to look at the kind of jajman. You've mentioned about Hare Krishna, then Hare Rama. How do you see, and you mentioned about the presence within the Baul tradition of the yoga aspect to do with the mind and the body. Um, are there compositions that you came across which like talk to the body, even body parts, like Guru Amar Das's works in Anand, Anand is his 40 pada long composition, Prabandha. He talks to the mind. He says, "E man mereya, tu sada raho har nale." Hari ke saath sada raho. Then he says, "E netro mereo, har bin avar na dekho koi." E netro mereo, hari bin avar na dekho koi. He says, "E sarvano mereo, hari sunna no pathaye, sarir laye." So, oh my ears, you've been placed to hear Hari. Do
hmm.
not forget it. Your purpose, sole purpose is to do that. And that's why you're attached to the body. Sarvano mereo. E rasana, tu anaras rach rahi, teri pyas na jai. Oh my rasna, my tongue. You slurping right here, there, and everywhere. And your thirst doesn't go away. But then so e sharira mereya. Then he talks to the entire body. E sharira mereya, is jag mein aaye ke kya tud karam kamaya. What karma have you attained upon having arrived in this world? Um, are there, when you speak of like the mind and the body, can you share some of the compositions that you came across that deal with mind, body, and also then we can come later to the Sringar aspect or the Vikar, the Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, which is again to do with the mind. It would be fantastic if you can share some of your findings.
Well, we have so many
Yeah.
compositions about that. And we are very specific because when we are talking about Deha and how we place the mind there and how we talk about when we talk about mind, and how we place the mind there is little different. It's very slight. It's very detailed, in its way. So I'm just trying to think what will be good to talk about. Is There's so many. Can you explain to me what exactly you are looking at in the pada? Then I can choose a pada for you.
One, I mean, let's talk about the mind. Anything. I mean, how you talk to the mind. When you tell the mind, you're advising the mind what to do and what not to do. Um,
Hmm.
for example, it could be like, for example, when we advise, one is the dant, one is the scold. Hey, you bloody idiot, what the heck are you up to, kind of a thing. So that
Hmm.
the other is advisory. Oh, Mr. Mind, I would be nice if you can engage in the jap of Ram, the one
Aha.
who is the Gopal. Well, why don't you, do this also? So one is the
Okay.
advisory, one is the consultant advisory, one is like the mommy and daddy. "At teri mano hai teri, hatda nahi tu. You don't bloody, I tell you not to do that, and still you're doing that." So any or any other kind of a conversation with the mind. How do you deal with the
Yeah.
mind? How do you
Very
wrestle with
rec-
the mind?
yeah. So very recently, I came across. We have some fierce writers. They have no compromise when they write. They just write like sword. Like it's really sharp. And hear
Correct.
this song, and I really like when they really scold the mind. Like it's like clear. I mean, just don't make nonsense. Like don't do nonsense. So it's clear. It's not about soothing and feeling good about it, and oh please, can you please go change. This will not function with mind. So just dhik. It's like shame on you. So dhik 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 mon tomare. Mon मन.
Oh, but
सो धिक तुमको, धिक है, धिक्कार है. Hmm. বলবো কি রে, what can I say to you?
hmm,
কাঁচ নীলি কাঞ্চনের দরে. You have purchased glass with the price of gold. Means you gave your gold and got the glass. uh, you have two eyes, but uh, you acted like a blind, and uh, you lost the jewel that you had at your home. Uh, then it says that there are diamonds and rubies inside your home, but you do not recognize its
hmm,
value, and you roam around not knowing who are you. You forget yourself, you make mistake, and then you fall in the cycle of karma, but you don't realize it. You don't realize the mistakes that you have made,
hmm.
and you act like crazy, or uh, I mean, I'm just doing rough translation.
Crazy is
And
good.
yeah. Yes, of course, the crazy
It's
mind.
rough enough.
And you lose the essence. You lost your essence. Then you take a knife on your hip and go around in the field looking for what? What are you searching? uh, Even just for once, you didn't look within the beloved who is sitting, Moner Manush, inside your house of forms and beauty and manifestations. You cannot see anything, my mind. You are blind. And Goshai Kupi says to his disciple Jadu Bindu, Jadu Bindu Goshai's Gan means songs, uh, that you have lost your life with the fever of thoughts. So this is the song. Should I sing this song?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
It's a
I'm
very
glad you
recent.
offered because I would have then begged of you. You saved me.
Okay, you are okay. I don't let you speak, and then All right. So this is so this Dhik Dhik Mon Tomare. It's just few days ago. I composed it like just a week ago. I have
Really?
composed. Yeah. Maybe it's an inspiration that we since we had the last talk.
Oh, look
So
at that. I'm like co-author. Sure, I'm very happy.
yeah, whenever I get time, I think you also compose a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you do so much work. I wonder how you get time, but I don't wonder because I also do everything and I still compose because
Yes.
it's like
It just
it's like
comes.
yeah. If you don't do that, it's like you did not brush your teeth or you didn't sleep. It feels
Exactly.
like that. Yeah. So I sing this to you. I hope. Okay.
Yeah. There's only one complaint everybody is making, that they're not able to see the drum because the computer is closed. And I know that I didn't want to interrupt in between, but I want to tell everybody we've tried because it's not possible to move the computer and the microphone
Yeah.
settings. So please bear with us today. Yeah.
Here is the drum. Here is the drum, but I cannot show it right now.
Yeah.
But as we are talking, that one day I will make an
Yes.
arrangement
No, but
that you
that's a
can
secret.
see.
That's a secret.
Oh,
Come on.
okay. Okay,
You
I
can
don't
break my
speak.
secrets, madam, please.
Okay. धिक 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 मन तमारे धिक 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 मन तमारे धिक 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 मन तमारे पलवके रे কাছে নিলে কাঞ্চনের দরে খাবা কাছে নিলে কাঞ্চনের দরে ধিক 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 মন তোমারে ধিক 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 মন তোমারে তোমার থাকতে নয়ন ফেলে যতন যতন করো ঝুট পাথরে খাবা যতন করো ঝুট পাথরে ধিক 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 মন তোমারে কত লাল জহরা হিরে মনি থাকতে ঘরের মাঝারে তুমি তাও যেন না হয়ে কানা খাপারে তাও যেন না খাবারে তুমি তাও চেন না হয়ে কানা আর মূল হারালে হেলা করে মূল হারালে হেলা করে ঠিক 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 মন তোমারে ঠিক 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 মন তোমারে আপনাতে আপনি ভুলে বিষম ফেরে তুমি বুঝলে না ভুল হয়ে বাতুল বলে বুঝলে না ভুল হয়ে বাতুল বেড়াও কেবল ঘুরে ঘুরে খাবা বেড়াও কেবল ঘুরে ঘুরে ধিক 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 মন তোমারে ঠিক 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 মন তোমারে খাবারে কোমরেতে কাস্তে গুজে মাঠে মাঠে বেড়াও খুঁজে কিসের তোরে তুমি একবার হয়ে চেতন ওরে আমার মন দেখলে না মন রূপের ঘরে দেখলে না মন রূপের ঘরে ধিক 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 মন তোমার ধিক 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 মন তোমারে আমার মতো বুদ্ধি হতো দেখতে পাই না সংসারে গোসাই কুবীর বলে গোসাই কুবীর বলে জাদু বিন্দু ও তুই প্রাণ হারালে চিন্তা জরে খাবা প্রাণ হারালে চিন্তা জহরে ধিক 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 মন তোমারে ঠিক 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 মন তোমারে তোমার থাকছে নয়ন তোমার থাকছে নয়ন ফেলে রতুন যতন করো ঝুট পাথরে খাবা যতন করো ঝুট পাথরে ধিক 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 মন তোমারে ঠিক 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 মন তোমারে I love to sing this song. I like the dhik dhik part.
When did you compose it? When did you compose it? Which day?
Bhaiji, I cannot hear you. I have to adjust a little bit.
Oh, hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay. When did you compose it? Which day was it approximately?
Hiyo, I don't remember that much, but usually I write the date. Let me see.
Any memory? Was it this month?
Yeah.
This month also, the first day of this month was also first, is it? I mean, it's just 1 week that has gone by. Today is the 7th. So what was it like? First, second, third, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So do you see this?
Yeah, I can.
See the date?
Second.
2nd March, no?
Yeah.
So I just recited yesterday something with Jeff Campbell, Jeffrey, you know,
Yeah.
but imagine what is this is the Pakhavach Paran. And what are the first two words? Just imagine, just like guess. What are the first two words? Dre g. So dri. The first word is dri. So drigda kadigana takana dha tikata takathonga ghindaran dharan. Drigda dhan dha 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 thon natta kuku dhain. Kirtaka trigda de takada ka thongaran thonga dha kada dha dha kada dha etc. So imagine you're composing about and there's a paran I wrote on the 2nd of March, and it's Dhrig, and Dhri is the first words.
Oh,
Dhrigadat,
that's
and
lovely.
Dhat is like to the elephant when you hold the elephant or you calm the elephant is the Gajparan. Dhat is the bowl of the how you control the animals.
Oh.
Gaj parents. So gad is engagement, something that is relentlessly, continuously run amok or running astray. And drigdhat is the hold on. Drigdhat. So they say drigdhat. So the dant kitan. So I'm like, I was listening to you and I was like shocked. I said, come on, look at that. You just written it in the last week, and I just showed you the date written in hand by me.
And something that strikes is, am I echoing or
No, no, you're cool.
okay? So because I'm hearing my
No, we're okay here, this side.
okay, okay. So something wrong with me.
Yeah, something wrong with you only. Yeah, I'm okay.
I just wanted to talk about the taming the elephant
Yeah.
because mind is also
Yes, that's
the
my.
image is an elephant. So it's quite interesting that we are saying this take to control this mind, and it is
And three
also in the
times. I've
pakwan.
also said three times. Drikad. So drigad, then drikad. Drikad. So imagine three, and dhi, and is also three times. Anyway, please continue. You were saying.
No, this is all I wanted to say. The chitta gajabar,
Yeah.
chitta gajabar. That when the mindlessness come, then this elephant will fly. That's what it said in the poetry.
Yes, yes. Absolutely. So this is fantastic. This is one about the mind when you're controlling. But this is written by whom? This is a recent poetry.
Oh no, this is
This
a
is
very
whose?
old composition.
Whose is this?
Jadu Bindu Goshai.
And when was he?
Jadu Bindu Goshai.
Approximate. Like you mentioned, the previous poet you mentioned was the grand disciple of Chaitanya
Yes, no,
Mahaprabhu.
Jadu Bindu is much later.
I see.
So Jadu Bindu Goshai was in the place near to Bardhaman, and he is disciple of Kubir Goshai.
Hmm.
Kubir Goshai was before Lalun,
I
and
see.
so it is just before. So let's say that like 250 to 300 years back.
I see.
Lalan has 200 years, so before him.
But I won't go with the let's say. I mean, I say. You have to say it. I will listen.
Actually, it's hard to know. There is no evidence or nothing is written,
I know.
but we just guessing. But Jadu and Bindu is very, very interesting. This is the only couple practitioner. It is said the
Really?
Jadu
Uh-huh.
hmm, is the man and the Bindu is woman, and they composed together. They were the Goshai Baba and Ma.
Mhm.
So they together did all the sadhana together. You know that in Baul, the male and female practitioner they practice together, but they have been composed songs together. This is very, I think it's only one.
Do you see any ego between the constructs of the lines where the man is saying I'm a greater poet and the woman says, hey, wait a minute, baby boy, I'm not too bad either? Is there any kind of conflict in the text they've written together?
No, I didn't find that. Absolutely not.
No, nothing spicy out there.
It would have been interesting, but I think their disciples deleted it.
Yeah. So the well, talking of the couples, I mean, this is on a. It may seem naughty. It's not. It's a border that it's a query or a thought which borders between idiocy and philosophy. It's somewhere in between there. Jokes apart, Krishna, the term Krishna, um, is like black, right? Etymology. Let's look at the black. It's like utter black, sheer black. It's ashen. It is dark, and but it is the one which is to denote the one who can remove the dark. And then Krishna is also the name of a quail or even a crow, as you know, Baikan Singh notes the meaning of this term in his epic Mahan Kosh as well. Krishna also is the meaning, one term used for Kali Yuga. Is also Neel, the stone, is also iron, is also the surma jo lagate hain, black, the eye filler, whatever it's called. And but then uh, Krishna had 8 wives: Rukmini, Kalindi, Mritvinda, Satya, Naginajiti, Jambavati, Sushila, uh, Satyabhama, and Lakshmana. These are 8 wives of Krishna. Apart from that, he had 16,100 uh, dasis and wives. And um, so the problem, I mean, to love Krishna like Radha did, that's like hell of a problem. How is that idea of uh, the relationship between Parmeswaraha uh, and the seeker? How do you look at that idea when you um look at the legends? Legends are in the Gursikh parampara, for example. We our soul is the bride, is a suhagin. The terms for suhag, pir suhag kar aya. You know, the pir is the beloved, is the Parmeswara, the Kartapur Parmeswara, and suhag is that, and the suhagin is the soul. So the idea of marriage, Vyahua, Guru Amardas says, "Are bhai mare re gar, Vyahua mere babula, Vyahua mere babula, Guru mukhe arbaya, Vyahua mere babula." So, अज्ञान अंधेरा कटया गुरु ज्ञान प्रचंड बलाया, बलिया गुरु ज्ञान अंधेरा विनसया हर रत्न पदार्थ लाधा, वेया हुआ मेरे बाबुला. So I am married, he says. Oh, my father, I am married. Guru Mukhe Hari Paya. The Gurmukha has attained the Hari. Uh, that is, the wedding has happened. So the idea of, for example, in the Bhakti Marg, in the Gursikh Marg, in the Sufi Marg, the metaphors as Radha and Krishna were not used at all. Like there's a zero usage of that in Gurvani. But the idea of wedding is not gone. The Sohag and the Sohagin is not gone. The Vyaha is not gone. It's not just an affair, it's an actual damn wedding. With the that is attainment. It's not a talk about attainment. And it's a transactional relationship that I'm willing to invest my time, which I have gotten, I don't know why, but I'm willing to invest in you if I can attain eternal happiness. If I can be content, if I can be at peace, I'm willing to invest as much time as I have, and shamelessly so. How do you look at this? The metaphors, are they really relevant? Or, for example, in the Gursikh Marg, we have done away with them and we are quite okay with that. And the Sufi Marga, I know that the Nanak Panthi section of the Udasi section of the Baul Sangeet had that, but I have not been able to find actual traces because a lot happened in the 19th century with the British, etc., where the fragmentation was done, detachment, disconnects were done, connectivity was destroyed for the first time. How do you see this idea? There's somebody at the door. Please share your thoughts. I'm listening, and I'll be back in a sec. Yeah, continue.
So, what you said as that in the Guru Granth Sahib or all this Shabad, there is no mention of Radha and Krishna in that way. So, but the idea of wedding is there. So, even in the many important texts like Srimad Bhagavatam, even though they are talking about the Vrindavan Leela of Sri Krishna, because but there is no mention of Radha. So, when Shukha Maharshi, one who has spoken the Srimad Bhagavatam, that why you didn't mention Radha, uh, and also to Ashtabakra Rishi, that they say that if we take the name of Radha, we will be in the Samadhi because she is the only one. She once you enter that, you can. She's like the milk sea. You can never come out. So this is the reason why that Radha's mention is not there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, where Sri Krishna is basically the acharya and he is the guru, and he teaches his uh, disciple Arjuna and all that we come to know. So, but the in the Garga Bhagavatam, we come to know about Radha in detail. So I'm just taking at this moment the idea of marriage because these are all very detailed. The marriage of Radha Krishna is not really a marriage; it's more like union. And the concept of marriage is is there in Baul songs many times when finally we arrive and unite with our Ishta. And there is another aspect where Radha comes in, that is Gopi Bhav. Radha is Pradhana Gopi, the main Gopi. So the love of Radha towards Krishna, the, uh, where I will explain more to you. But right now I'm just focusing on the wedding. So very ancient time when Baul were the Siddhas, they were not known as Baul, they were known as Siddhacharya.
Yeah.
So one of the 84 Siddhas, Kanhopad, he says, the drum of Bhava, the world, and Nirvan, the freedom from the world, is playing at the same time. And that is the time Kanho went out with his barat to get married with Dombi. This word Dombi is very interesting. Dombi means somebody who is from the Chandal caste.
I
You know,
see.
those who would burn the dead bodies.
Mm,
So she's a girl from that family.
mm,
And Dombi is a secret language of Siddhas to tell the Sushumna Nari.
mm.
So he goes to get married with Sushumna Nari. So how is the arrangement of the barat? I'm telling you, and the wedding. Uh, so they made a marriage chamber with the mind and breath, and he gave feast of birds. So he fed birth after birth to everyone, and he received anuttara dharma as dowry. And in the chamber of this mind and breath, he remained with Dombi, united day and night, totally intoxicated. Actually, I'm getting stopped because I'm hearing myself,
I see.
but it's okay. So, and he never left Dombi away. So I'll sing this pada
And I
to
thought you
you.
were only getting intoxicated yourself. Look at that. I mean, you really broke my illusion.
I will sing this pada because
Yeah.
this is so beautiful.
Uh-huh.
I hope I don't hear myself when I sing. I hear myself. So I will take this away
Uh-huh.
and sing. Bhava nirvane Bhava nirvane Pataha madalare Mana pavana veli Karandaka Karandakashala means marriage chamber. Bhavani Nirvane Bhavani Nirvane Mana pavanasali karandakashala bhavanir vane bhavanir What happened?
I would suggest, because at one time we had I asked you to move back. The volume had been increased. I think the volume is going over because you've closer to the
Oh,
microphone now.
I'm getting
Maybe that might be the issue, where because it's going over. So I don't
okay.
want the distortion to be there in the song. Is this?
Okay. Is
Can
this
you
better?
try and
I
now keep the headphone again and see if the echo is
will
there?
put the volume down a little bit. Let's try this. Is it better?
No, now no. When you move back, don't reduce the volume. Just put it back at the same level as it was before. So I just
Ha,
want to
I
do
did.
the double check. Is it still, the
Yeah.
echo is still there?
Yes.
So why don't you do one thing? Why don't you just call me? Let's drop the line. and you call me back. Just reconnect back, and because it's an important song, let us not
Yeah.
let's do the little ritual. So you have to
Okay.
just restart your server or the web that Safari or Chrome I think you're using.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that, and then call me back on the same link.
Okay.
I'll just try to introduce you. Meantime,
Okay.
let me tell to people whom I've been speaking with.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you in a
See
minute.
you.
So, friends, welcome to the 186th YaarAnād Virtual Baiṭhak Series Mēlā. Let me put my frame okay. It seems okay. Um, there's a little technical. I know that many of you have already spoken about the echo, which is suddenly coming from um, Parvathy's side. But I hope that it'll be better now once she reconnects. Um, Many of you know, but Parvathy, here she is. Guest in the green room, remove from green room. You're already assigned. Yes. So, well, let's see. Now, is the echo still there, or it's better now?
Uh,
It's still. I mean, you have to speak.
yes, it is still there.
It is still there. I see.
It's
So
okay. I'll manage.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So now at least we manage the level. That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's get back to the song then. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I
Sorry for that.
changed the instrument.
Yes.
Oops.
Oh, this I love this song.
I'll take this away.
Sure,
So that,
sure.
yeah. Aha. sahaja unmata bhava nirvane bhava nirvane bhava nirvane bhava nirvane.
Wow, 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 wow.
And then, oops, balancing myself, so many things. Yes, you want to tell something.
It's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. And would you?
Now,
Hmm,
we will talk about Radha. We'll talk about Radha through Gopi Bhav.
hmm,
See, the gopis are not always uh, in the Shringar love for Krishna. When it comes to Shringar, it's called Madhurya Bhakti. Madhurya, the sweetness. But the gopis, they were devotees who were even the parents of Krishna. They were friends of Krishna. They didn't know who is this Lord. As you said, the Gopala, the creator of the universe, is their friend. They didn't know. They used to pluck fruits, eat it half, and say, okay, Krishna, take it. Or they would fight with Krishna saying, oh no, you have eaten my things. You are taking my things away. So, you see, uh, but Krishna loved it. Nanda and Yashoda were great devotees of Krishna. And once it is said, Nanda asked Balarama to help cleaning the cowshed. And Krishna was little boy. And he also wanted the same work like his elder brother was doing. And he started asking Nanda that please give me some job, father, give me some job. Then Nanda said to Krishna, all right, my sandal, my slippers are in the mud. So can you please just carry my slippers, wash it and bring it? So here Krishna washes the slippers of the devotee. You see? So this is also Gopi Bhav. So through the music, when we are there are so many, so many poems are coming in my heart when I'm trying to say about Radha. Is Radha is in complete samadhi. She is the Lahadini Shakti of Sri Krishna. And in a beautiful song, Radha says, Shuno Shundaro Sham Brajo Bihari. Oh, listen, Sham Brajo Bihari, I keep you in my heart. You are great. The world praises you for your greatness. I am your devotee, Radha. I am your beloved. But the world blames me for my love. So it's the beauty of the devotee and the beloved. I will sing a very little part of the
yes,
song
please.
so that you have the bhava
Yeah.
of this aspect somehow. Shuna Shundaro Shamo Braja Bihari Riti Mondire Rakhi Tomare Hari জন অঙ্গ ভূষা রাধাকান্ত নিতান্ত তব ভরসা কুলশীল গৌরব ত্যায্য করি তব চরণে শরণাগত হে কিশোরী তব চরণে শরণাগত হে কিশোরী.
Wow, wow. Kya baat.
And I will emphasize a little bit on Gopi Bhav if that is okay.
Please.
I can't stop talking, you see.
I can't stop listening.
I have composed a poetry very soon on Gopi Bhav. What is Gopi Bhav? But I haven't composed the melody yet, so I cannot sing it.
Hmm.
But I can translate it. It's just, it will be not a English poem, it will be more like the translation of the poem.
I see. But did you write it in Bangla?
Yeah, I wrote it in Bangla.
It'll be
Yes.
wonderful if you can recite in the original as well.
Okay. Hmm. Uh, uh, okay. Two lines from Bangla, and the rest is in
I didn't
English.
know that you were such a miser.
Acha. But I will just tell you the meaning of the English
Sure,
right
sure.
now.
Yes, please.
I hear from sadhus that there is no other fastest way than the way of gopis to get Krishna. Gopi is a simple, covered woman. The bhav is a state of divine consciousness. How did simple, covered woman find the shelter at the lotus feet? So many sages meditate on Krishna for ages, with their head down, legs up, in so many impossible ways. Still, their ways don't get the highest place of the seekers. The love of gopis remains the highest example of devotion and surrender to the Supreme Lord. The wise ones say there are two streams: the father, the masculine element, and the mother, the feminine element. The masculine energy seeks its place in the knowledge. The feminine energy is the energy of inner joy. She surrenders fully to her beloved. She holds no other motivation. She is happy if her beloved is happy. That is all she wants to know. This energy creates overflowing sea of joy. You only exist, my Lord. I do not exist. If I am here, I am only for you, say gopis. Sri Krishna is the only masculine, Paramapurusha. He is neutral. He stands beyond any qualities or dualities. He is the attractor of all. He attracts the feminine energy of the supreme inner Ananda, the Ladini Shakti. This is not an analysis of what we know as dharma in the conventional sense. The space of Vraja is beyond the material existence. Gopis are Gopis are the residents of this space. Their path is unfathomable, beyond mind. The supreme consciousness and the supreme inner joy will unite eventually. The sadhu says, "O my heart, become a woman. Wipe away the ego of the masculine and become a transparent crystal to reflect the colors of the beloved." Yearning for Krishna will turn into serpent when it loses its jewel on the forehead. The ways of feminine in the material world and the ways of Gopi are not the same, though they might seem alike. In the ways of the world, there is a wish to fulfill selfish desire, but there is no desire in Gopi Bhav. They leave away self comfort and meditate on Krishna alone. Her only sadhana is to make Krishna happy. Her happiness is in the happiness of her beloved. Everyone calls the name of Krishna. Krishna is there in every being. There is a Krishna who belongs to Mathura, another Krishna of Dwaraka, and the other from the battlefield of Kurukshetra. But the butter stealing Krishna is of Brindavan. He is the favorite of all devotees. The Krishna of Brindavan holds the corner of cloth worn by the gopis and take refuge in their arms. This Krishna is the embodiment of love. He is the supreme essence that everyone worships. His devotees are from the coward community. They are not learned, nor they have any interest in pursuit of knowledge. They choose the little boy of the same community as their lord, the one who steals butter from different household. His hair is tied to a top knot and it has a peacock feather decorated on it. He holds bamboo flute in his little palms and wears yellow garment. It is said as the most beautiful manifestation of the divine Lord in the world. His devotee, a daughter of coward man, and her beloved too is the same. The love of the gopi is not transactional. They have no demands, nor they keep any account of how much they love. Why they love Krishna, even this they don't know. They seek nothing from the little cow keeper. They surrender to him unconditionally. They give all the wealth they have, whatever belongs to them. Like the waves of the sea splashes heavily at the shore during the hours of sea storm, the heart of a gopi becomes so if they don't see little Krishna for a moment. The simple love of gopis stole the heart of Krishna. He is content within with such devotion. If the gopi is separated from Krishna, she sees Krishna in her own self. She becomes gopi and she becomes Krishna herself at the same time. She embraces herself with her own arms. In this way, she unites with Krishna in unconditional love. Like the waves of the sea, inner bliss arises and merges back into the self. O Sadhu, listen. Have you ever seen such example of selfless love? I try to explain the inner form of Gopi's love in this poem. One cannot achieve this love through the chanting of mantra or through tantra or any other such knowledge. The devotee who has arrived at the spontaneous inner perfection can experience this love. One cannot arrive at unconditional love through efforts and toils or even with austerity. Can someone force oneself either to love or to receive love? Sadhana is grown within with the Shakti of inner self. One will come face to one's own true self through sadhana with clarity. Still, it cannot sprout the true rasa of Krishna's love. In the reference of sacred texts, whatever method is explained to arrive at the true devotion for the divine. Acha, this is that only helps the devotees to cleanse the accumulated inner habits of devotees from the past. The eyes of devotee filled with tears of devotion the moment she hears her beloved's sacred name. With the tears of devotion will wash away the inner filth. In return, one receives the jewel of love. Devotee experiences Krishna's presence while chanting his name with her full heart. Listen, O wise one, this chanting of the sacred name, it is not a repetition of a mere written word. Krishna is born from the ocean of inner joy. Sri Krishna is the Satchidananda, is the form of Sat Chit Ananda. Where there is rain of the nectar of inner joy, the wealth of Krishna is there. Gauranga, the query of love and devotion melts into the Acham. His, his divine body is made of tears. Only Mahaprabhu tasted the rasa of Sri Krishna's love. His body turned into ultimate manifestation of Krishna's sadhana. We do not find such an example in recent times. To worship Krishna like Gauranga is known as the Gopi Bhav. Binadas holds onto the lotus feet of Guru Sanatan Das. Whatever Vyasa Muni has said in his symbolic language as Gopi Bhav, Gauranga is the ultimate manifestation of Gopi Bhav. It's, yeah, so it's just a translation which is very rough, and but I think you get the meaning of this. You made a drawing. I cannot see it very well. Yeah, show me bigger. What's that?
Gopi. It's a doodle. You were busy, so I got busy too. Ram Ram bol bol khojte vad bhagi. See that you thought that you can only spell ink. See how I spelled ink.
Okay, so I hope that it made sense and is so you feel that the gopi bhav is actually is not something that can be achieved through sadhana, that not something can be achieved through any yoga or any path or anything like that. It's only this continuous contemplation on the divine beloved Krishna. So this is the essence of the whole thing.
Hmm. That's
So
very
it is not, it's not really a marriage or those metaphors. It's something more inner. It's a very inner
You
flow.
mean you mean the wedding is not an inner concept? The idea of suhag and suhagan?
Now, of course, it is there in the Gopi Bhav too. But I'm saying that Gopi Bhav is very vast, very, very vast in its nature.
Right, right.
And the wedding and the Suhagan and the Bidaha is one part of it.
It's the pinnacle of that. It's the consummation of that entire. It's enlightenment. The idea of the suhag and suhagan or the wedding is actually the state of attainment of merger when the Ram Ram Hari Hari Jandu Ek hai, the becoming of one, when there is no duality no more, is the death of duality, is the death of Radha, death of Krishna, when there's one energy, one space, one entity. So actually the wedding symbolizes that state of communion, when it is the karta, it is ek again, there's no dvait, there's no prayer. It's when they're all how you say, when the fruit is when the fruit, the nectar, it is the realization, it is the culmination of the entire process of that. So one is.
And there is another image of marriage with the death.
Mhm.
The death is also like it's a pause, that a point of transition.
But it's
And
the
so,
Jivan Mukta, the death, as Guru Nanak says, Jeev Tya Kiv Mariya, the question in which he addresses to the yogis and the siddhas and the riddhas. Um, he says, Jogi, Gali Jogana Hui, Ek Dristikar Samsar Jana, Jogi Kahiya Gozes. I think I sang that to you or whom? It goes, Jogi. It's again from the Jogi tradition, how they remembered Guru Nanak, the Siddhas and the Riddhas, and so on and so forth, the Tantrics. It says, जोग न खिंदा जोग न डंडा जोग न भस्म चढ़ाइया जोग न मुंडी मुंड मुंडाइया जोग न सिंगी वाइया अंजन माहे निरंजन रहिया अंजन माहे निरंजन रहिया जोग जुगत किव पाया जोगी गली जोग न होई जोगी गली जोग न होई एक दृष्ट कर समसर जाना जोगी कहिया सोई जोगी कहिया सोई जोगी गली जोग ना होई जोगी गली जोग ना होई के बातों से mere talk will not um, 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 you know attain the yoga for you. He says, "Ek drishti kar samsar jana hai." To know everyone and everything with some drishti, that is the true. The one who has that drishti um, uh, is a true yogi, is the actual yogi. And then he says, "Jogana khintha, jogana danda, jogana bhasma chadhaiya, jogana mundi mund mudaiya, jogana singhi vaiya, anjan mahe niranjan rahiya, jugat eva paiya." This is how you attain yoga, when you anjana mahe niranjana rahiya. So the idea of becoming a dole, becoming like a lotus in the pond, and so on and so forth. So these are the two is the marg in which let me bring in the other ideas we touched briefly. It'll be wonderful to look into some of the texts that you may be reminded of about the stringar of. There is basically we are in. There's no difference. The idea of gopi and the idea of a Sikh, because you're headed for the wedding. The relationship initially it can be an illegitimate relationship, but then it becomes legitimate. As the old master would say, what's the difference between a Sufi and a Sikh? He says, and the Sufi master said in Punjab, I think it was Bullish or somebody said, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਨਜਾਇਜ਼ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਰੱਬ ਨਾਲ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖੜੇ ਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਾਇਜ਼ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਹੈ. So it was a note of humility. He says, mine is an illegitimate relationship with God. Six is a legitimate relationship. You talk of wedding. So that was a little among the akhadas, among the sadhus, is a little light note conversation about. But technically, there's no difference. Because if you have an affair, well, you might end up getting, like Kabir says, "Kahe Kabir moye byahe, chale hai pur khai bhagwana." But the process is very interesting. Process is of weeding out the vikaras of the mind, the vices of the mind, and ornating oneself, as Guru Nanak says in one of the compositions, "Khema Sringar Kamanatan Pehre, Ta Rave Lal Pyar." It takes a metaphor of a husband and a wife. It says, Kshama, forgiveness, is one of the virtue when a bride wears the Karta Parvasra is only then pleased. So you cannot be unforgiving and then expect to be in a state of meditation or be a margi. So how are there compositions in which, if I may, let me rephrase, what is the becoming of a gopi? How does one become a gopi, and what are the What is the daily routine? What does Gopi do? Is she trying to adorn her mind, her mind, so that it is pleasing to the Krishna, Kishan is also the name of Vishnu in the old. Look at etymology, is the name of not just the one who was born. It's an old name which is also Vishnu, but Vishnu is also a name of Karta Purpura. So what is it to ornate oneself to so that one is pleasing to the Lord? Is it, are there compositions where you say that a calm, just say, there's one from Guru Arjan which comes to mind, काम क्रोध लोभ त्याग मन सिमर सिमर गोविंद काम क्रोध लोभ त्याग मन सिमर गोविंद नाम. So let go of the vices, do this, don't do that, do this. How do you I mean, is it something that you can recall?
Well, there are so much. The only thing
All
I
years.
we can never stop saying things when we talk about these things, and not even if there are like millions of words we say, it will never suffice to explain exactly what it is. And this is the rasa of the whole thing, I feel, because it's ever new, and you keep on thinking that I have explained it or I have touched it, but you realize next moment that it's not. So when you say that, what is the daily routine of a gopi, that I really like. That's a good way of thinking. What is the daily routine of a gopi? Well, gopi is every breath is for her beloved. There's nothing exist except the beloved. And when we are continuously living for the beloved, the mind becomes absent, even in the sleep. Even you are in control of your dreams, and uh, everything happens from the true space of ananda, because you don't live for yourself. Yourself means what? Your projections of mind, your mind. So we don't live for that, and it becomes only for the beloved, only for you. So there is the joy that we find. And you said that the composition that you said, that काम क्रोध लोभ त्याज के तुम खुद को, you prepare yourself for your beloved. So prepare this crystal clear mind which can receive the beloved. So we there is a beautiful, since we are talking about gopi and radha, I will go through that example at this moment. Is there is a beautiful story that um, radha dresses up, I mean, not dresses up, she hears the flute of krishna in the evening, and she wants to go out, and she was sitting with her sakhis in her courtyard, and she wants to go to the nikunjam to meet Sri Krishna. And the sakhis looks at Radha, they look at Radha, and they saw that Radha is running away just with the cloth she was wearing at home. So they, oh Radha, you're going to meet your beloved. You dress up, you beautifully decorate yourself. And then Radha sings to them this poem saying, Kaj ki bhushane, what is the use of alankar for me, decoration for me? Kaj ki bhushane, one who goes to have the darshan of Sri Krishna, for her eyes, the roop, the beauty of Krishna is the bhushan, the alankar or the decoration of the eyes. The listening to the sacred name, the praise of Krishna is the decoration for her ears. The nose ring is the smell of Krishna's body in all the in the eight petal lotus of heart. And um, the love of Krishna is the garland, and these are the decoration of love that the devotee wear. What is the use of outside decoration? So that is the, it is from the Vaishnava Padavali. And I feel that this is the true. I mean, there will be no question of anything. Like the mind will disappear if we truly can live for the beloved. Nothing exists there. So whatever is told, as the shunya, or uh, the space of this limitlessness, sometimes it sounds like, oh, this is totally formless. And sometimes even through these forms, where we arrive at is the same space. Where the mind is absent, there is no form anymore. Where the beloved and the lover is one. And so you see, we go through different paths, but we actually arrive in the same space, whether through devotion or through yoga or through Vedanta or through the path of the gurus. It's all leads there. So uh, it's good that काज की भूषणे ए আমার সখী কাজ কি ভূষণে কাজ কি ভূষণে তার ভূষণে কি কাজ আছে গো যে জন যাবে হরি দর্শনে কাজ কি ভূষণে
Wow.
করের ভূষণ ও পাদ সেবন বদন ভূষণ নামে নয়ন ভূষণ অরূপ দর্শন শ্রবণ ভূষণ গুণে শ্রবণ ভূষণ গুণে কণ্ঠের ভূষণ শ্যামমণিহার নাসার ভূষা অঙ্গগন্ধ আমার নাসা যেন মেতে থাকে কৃষ্ণ অঙ্গ অষ্টপদ্ম গন্ধে আমার নাসা যেন মেতে থাকে নাসার ভূষা অঙ্গগন্ধ পীরিতি ভূষণ প্রতিতনু মন ভূষণ কি আর কাজে বলি আর কি ভূষণ পরাবি তোরা আমি প্রেমের ভূষণ পরেছি রে গোবিন্দ আমার অঙ্গের ভূষণ আমি প্রেমের ভূষণ পরেছি রে ভূষণ কি আরো কাজে
Wow, wow, wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. The metaphor in this is thank you, Manjari ji, by the way, saying, Bhai ji, shukriya for inviting my favorite Parvathy ji. I mean, Parvathy, can you look how shattered my heart is? I thought I was Manjari ji's favorite. She just made a confession that you are her favorite.
Is that
So
Manjari
I hate
Sinha?
you both now. Look at that.
Is this Manjari ji, Miss Manjari Sinha?
Yeah, the Manjari
Oh,
Singh.
she was here. Wow.
She is
She's my
here and she's like in front of me, daring to tell you that you are her favorite. Come on. I
you
mean,
you can catch her later and take some pizza or something as a tax.
yeah, I'll have to sue her now. So, coming to the Shringar aspect, um, just let me see what my cat has done. I think she has. She just.
So Bhai Baldeep ji has gone to see his cat. So I am at the screen right now. So I have to take care of everything. So basically until he comes back.
No, I'm here only.
So okay.
I'm listening to everything. All the gossip that is going on. I think
Baldeep ji, isn't it that we are at 7 o'clock now? And then
we are only 7 o'clock. Yeah. अभी तो शाम जमा है. We started a little late. So I was planning to go till maybe 7:30. Then we have she'll be friends. Parvathy will be joining me in my master class today. So it'll be we're looking forward to that. All of my students are looking forward to the session at 9 via Zoom. So I was talking about the idea of the when you talk about bhushana, the eye, for example, the adoration, the ornamentation of that. It is still for me the Lokik shringar to do with the body. The one that I mentioned about Ko Bikamagar, for example, is another composition of Guru Arjan that comes to my mind. हाँ को बिखमगार तो रे कोई है जो बहुत ही बिखम is मुश्किल is difficult gar is gat is like a knot को बिखमगार तो रे को बिखमगार तो रे कौन सी गाठ है आस पे आस धो मोह भरम ही ते हो रे कि आशा आस प्यास धोह एंड मोह सो आशा प्यासा ध्रोह और मोह और भरम आस पे आस धोह मोह भरम ही ते हो रे one who can refrain from all of these and the bharam. And then he says, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Man, ए ब्याधि छोर है ये ब्याधि इनको गिना है काम क्रोध लोभ मान ए ब्याधि छोर है ब्याध and then he says then you do what so आस प्यास दोह मोह भरम पांच काम क्रोध लोभ मान नौ विकार हो गए गिन लिए नौ दोष तो then he says संत संग नाम रंग गुण गोविंद गावो संत संग नाम रंग गुण गोविंद गावो वन दिनो प्रभ ध्यावो भरम भीति जित मिटावो नित नाम नानक मोर को बिखम गार तोरा सो संत संगी नाम रंग गुण गोविंद गावो अन दिनो प्रभ ध्यावो भरम भीति जीति मिटावो निधि नाम नानक मोरा इसके मन के श्रृंगारों में इट विल बी I'll be very interested if you can recall something that talks of the abhushan. Yes, it's fantastic. The abhushan of the body, tana abhushan, and the vyartha of that. That I no longer want to just adorn that, or I want. There are songs that say I want to adorn myself. I want to ornate. Then says, oh, but I don't. I'm not interested in adoration anymore. So both the rasas exist, right, in the text that we are familiar with. Is there something that you can recall from the repertoire that you have been fortunate to learn about those vikaras, like the one, for example, any text that deals with that?
Hmm. Uh, yes, let me. Hmm.
or we can go there when it comes, if you can, if something comes to the mind. When the idea of Jajman, you mentioned about the Hare Krishna and Hare Ram, so Radha and Gopi, and Ram and Sita, these are the two, and the Sai is
There
the
are
fourth.
songs, but at this, I mean, I can just tell. I mean, I'm not remembering the poetry
Yeah,
exactly
yeah, I
what,
know, I know.
but the meaning that I can tell you is like, what I remember is that taking this, the Ira Pingala and Shushamna,
Hmm.
you know, so they're talking about, uh, preparing oneself, decorating oneself to receive the beloved is like receive the realization. So how you wait, and the union, the chamber of union is this body, and the beloved is coming, so they are, you know saj dhaj kar rahe hai. So all these nadis, they are the decoration, like the jal decoration of this chamber, and then they make the asana for this beloved to sit in the triangle up and triangle down of the anahat. And when he comes in, then he comes with the light from this thousand petal lotus. So basically with the chakras and these nadis, that the sadhaka is preparing the ornament, to receive the beloved. So she's is basically making his body ready to arrive, to hold that energy of the beloved. So this way there are songs, but unfortunately I'm not getting the
Yeah, yeah, no, that's absolutely.
exact.
It,
Yeah, so but
it's
yes,
so,
there are,
I mean, there's so
there
many
are.
that even I sometimes cannot.
Yeah, I just not, yeah.
Yeah, I was even trying to recall a song when he was singing Andhar. Rag. It's there in my head, the text, but I was not able to remember the pada.
Yeah.
So it happens like that. So I was talking about the last part, if you can, and then of course, if there are other songs that you would like to share, which you have thought of before our conversation went the way it did. Is the we've spoken today about Radha Krishna, and then there is the idea of Hare Ram, the idea of Ram and Sita. Always the couple. Like if we Punjabis are versed with Heer Ranja and Sassi Punu and all that, the idea about love stories and so on and so forth, which are again, which have both the tangible and the intangible, the Lokik and the Alokik dimensions to it. Where Ranja is no other than the Parmeswara, that the idea is of that in the end, and how treacherous the Maya is. That Maya, how it tries to separate you from the beloved. That's the Dadrashtant of the Dashrant of the entire ballads like those, the epic, Varishas, Heer, and so on and so forth. But people usually enjoy the Lokik element a lot. They like the Chamdi a lot. They forget the Brahm very, very quickly. They need any bahana to forget about the Brahm Tat of it. They need the Lok Tat very, very. It's easable, it's accessible, but you can touch it, you can see it, you can hear it. Um, you spoke about the Sai. I know that the composition that you've chosen today for the masterclass is also saying with the term Sai. Are there any other like is there anything about the Shaivite terminology? Also, you mentioned about the yogic aspect as well. What kind of jajmani in terms of spiritual jajmani or the names of Parampur Parmeswara are there in the repertoire that you've come across?
There are so many ways of the images are there. uh, if you like, we sing kapare, right? Kappa means the crazy one, kappa means Shiva, actually, because you see, Baul searches her root in Natha Sampradaya, Natha Siddhas. So it's coming from Shiva. So this kappa, it remained, even though, see, we have the, it's quite interesting that we have this Tulasi Mala, which is Vaishnav, and then we have the Rudraksh also, that is Shakti. So there is Baul is, as I've said, that it's a melting pot. It has all this element in it, but the lila, or the the murti, is not there. Murti in the sense, the forms, that is not there. It's all worship. Everything happens inside. We take the aspect of Rama. If we think Rama as someone who's holding the bow and the arrow, and Durbadala, the blue complexion and all of that, we can think in that way. Is Keshadi Padam Padati Keshav, the meditating from the head to toe and toe to head, that is there. But we don't have the outer worship. If we do Keshadi Pada Padati Kesham, we'll be doing it inside us, looking at the body, because this body, we are not taking it personal. My body, his body belong to my beloved, so this is the beloved's body. So when I'm doing Keshadi Padam Padati Kesham, I'm telling myself, you see. So this is how we internalize the different aspects of the beloved. And this kapare is a term that used a lot for the from the Shiva. And there is so many beautiful poetic way. We go through the Baul way, very simple way. At one poem, Lalan calls the divine as
Hmm.
the neighbor who lives in the mirror city. There is a mirror city near my home, and the neighbor live there. He has no hands, no legs, no head. Sometimes he is in the form, and sometimes he is in the formlessness.
Hmm.
So this is also the image of the beloved. There is the image of beloved as the acharya, the guru, the place of guru. So one who shows the way. So sometime in the Baul songs we are thinking him as a boatman who comes at the shore and takes us for our final journey to the other side. Sometime we are seeing him as the weaver, one who weaves everything. Sometimes we see him as a little child who plays and who breaks to build again continuously. Sometimes we are thinking him as the engineer who made the structure of this whole house, and he is inside, living inside, and we are living in the same house with him, but we never met him. And with the boatman is the same, that he made the boat and he hide inside the boat and traveling along with us forever, but we never knew him. We never know him. So then and there are also the direct images that is there, that is of Radha and Krishna, that is very directly taken. Kali is very directly taken, the different forms of the mother as yoginis. And that is also this internalization of the 64 kalas, 64 yoginis situated in the body. So there is the whatever exists in the Bharatiya Adhyatmikata, the concepts, it all exists in Baul too. But only thing, everything is internalized. It's the internal yoga. It has the outer manifestation means only nad. Nad is this, sound, and through the sound we are, through the poetry, it is like meditation. When we are singing, we are saying things. It's like chanting mantra, and we are doing this internal puja, internal worship through nad. So there is no outer manifestation anywhere. So does it make sense? I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
um, पार्वती की एस्पिरेशन क्या है? um, बाबा फरीद एक दफ़ा कहते हैं कि कागा का रंग ढंढोलिया सगला खाया मांस ए दुई नैना मत छूहो फिर देखण की आस. He's talking to the crow. Uh, poor crow, because he was now meditating, and hunger, without food, without water. Old man, nearly bald, and all bones, structures of the. While sitting in meditation, a crow thought is a dead body. Must have been observing for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Poor crow slowly thought, perfect, slurp, slurp. Oh, this is great meat, a dead body, great. So the crow comes and sits on the shoulder and bites him. Nothing comes out. The skin's dry and dusty and is not very there's nothing. So poor guy climbs on his head and tries to hit. Is like searching for it for flesh. And then Baba Farid says, "Eh, do nana." He says, "Rest, you can do what you want, but don't touch my eyes because pir dekhan ki aas." Yeah. And they say, "Eh, pir dekhan ki aas, pir dekhan ki aas." ए दो नैना मत छूओ फिर देखन की आस फिर देखन की आस फिर देखन की आस is from the Golden Temple tradition, this composition in Hamir is a Ada Chautal 14 beat structure. बट सो पार्वती की क्या एस्पिरेशन है कि वो बाबा फरीद बता रहे हैं कि मेरे को प्रीतम के देखने की आशा है. आई एम एस्पायरिंग टू सी द दर्शना ऑफ माई बिलवेड. सो
Well,
पार्वती की एस्पिरेशंस क्या हैं? पार्वती क्या चाहती है जीवन में? क्या करना चाह रही है वो?
मैं आपको गाऊंगी मैं क्या करना चाहती हूँ.
ठीक है.
I have written a song about my inspiration.
अरे वाह.
Thanks for asking that. So I will first translate what I have written and then I'll sing
Beautiful.
it in Bengali. So it's a song. Uh, one way it's personal and it is impersonal at the same time.
Mhm.
So you have to filter where you want to filter. I'm always giving clean chit. Okay. So then,
Don't
okay,
worry, I'll scandalize you. I'll make you stop giving all the green chits.
okay. Um, um, I will try to remember and tell you. Where do you play your flute, my beloved?
Hmm.
I can hear, but I cannot see. I am your Gopika. Where can I go and find you and find the inner peace? The thorns on the way, it pierced my feet bled, and I lost everything in your love. I have lost my identity, my pride, whatever I had as my own. And in return, you gave me, you adorned me with the garland of blame, O the Lord of Raj. Vinada says, for you, my beloved, I have left all the other desires of the world. Goshai Sanatan, my guru, with his grace, I know surely I'll find you one day. So, where do you play the flute, my beloved? I can hear. Oh, sorry. কোথায় বাজাও বাঁশি, শুনিতে পাই দেখিতে না পাই, গোপিকা তোমারি কোথা গিয়ে প্রাণ জুড়াই, কোথায় বাজাও বাঁশি, পথে যাও তো কণ্টক, বিধিল কমল চরণে, কুলবতী কুল গেল শ্যাম তব প্রীতে, কোথায় বাজাও বাঁশি, কুলা গেল মানো গেল, গেল সব আপন পর, কলঙ্কের মালা গাথিয়া যতনে, পরালে হে ব্রজের নাথ, কোথায় বাজাও বাঁশি, কহে বিনা দাসে তব আসে, ছেড়েছি সংসার বাসে, কহে বিনা দাসে তব আসে, ছেড়েছি সংসার বাসে, গোসাই সনাতনে করে কৃপা, মিলাইবে তব পদাশ্রয়ে, কোথায় বাজাও বাঁশি কোথায় বাজাও বাঁশি
Kya baat hai. Beautiful. I was reminded with the silence in this of my father who passed away today in
Who?
2004. My father,
Oh,
there was the silence of it all in 2004. And so it was a very, very um, couple of songs. In fact, there was one more that you sang of the silence. Um, I don't remember the one that you. It was on mostly on Madhyam, remained low only. Uh, there was a very very beautiful conversation composition as well. And you wrote this and also composed this, is it? That's fantastic. And thank you so much, Parvathy. It's been such a pleasure, really. Uh, you've actually broken my secret. I thought that I wanted to do work on because I know that you. I remember you having told me that there's a very particular way to attend to the dance within the Baul parampara. And the next time we meet, um, it'll be wonderful to maybe set up in the akhada or somewhere. I know that you have a much better internet connectivity that you've had to work hard to get that. And I know that you're having your workshop as well now, cyber. When is that happening?
8th, 9th, and 10th April.
In April. Ah, okay. That's fantastic.
5 hours a day.
Ah, okay. That's lovely. In the morning or in the evening?
Some in the morning, 2 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the night.
Ah, cool. And so it'll be wonderful to maybe um, in the next after maybe a couple of weeks, whenever you have time that you can spare, end of this month or sometime in April, it'll be wonderful for us to learn about the way some of the technicalities, even the tal structures. I know that there was one that pattern oh yeah, I remember that pattern. It was an eight with dan dana don don dan 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 like da dana dana
Mm.
na din na na da dana din na na. That was a beautiful talwara pattern for us, for me to hear. It'll be great also to look at the tal structures. We've looked at the ragas the last time, several ragas that you sing within the parampara in the first Baiṭhak that we had. So we'll be very grateful if we can do that in the near future.
Yes, it will be very nice. So we need to some preparation for this. So once it's ready, I'll let you know.
Super. Super. Well, it was a pleasure listening to you. I know that you were so horrified that at the prospect of being in conversation with me again.
You got it right.
I'm a hardcore Punjabi supremacist. Whenever somebody sings Krishna, Radha Krishna, I said, oh, Sada Punjab da Gabru, Vrindavan is the east border of Punjab. So I said, apne Punjabi si bhai. So when they say Sita Ram, I said, chalo, Ram da pata nahi. Sita apni si. Sita was our own. So Shiv, I said, apna jogi si, padiyan da jogi si. So we the Punjabis, from Vedas to everything, we've got it all covered.
It's same with the Bengalis. Like you said that the Bengali musicians learned when Guru Nanak came to Bengal all these ragas, and we say that Guru Nanak came and learned from us.
Well, you never know. If he liked his Shruti, he certainly took it. But Bhagat Jaydev and you know, they all were there in Odisha, Bengal. Bhagat Jaydev is the oldest author of Guru Granth as well. So the raga stuff, Ragtal are old. I mean, they were already in. That's the scholarship of Gurbani in the sense that if Guru Nanak found that a particular Bhagat or a Sufi has sung the Vani that they wrote in the original Shruti, he recorded them as that. So that is an extraordinary, witness that he's, bearing at the music of the masters who lived before him. So I think it's a very, very beautiful sampradaya as such of knowledge, irrespective of the directions directions they are sort of flourishing or have flourished. We as students of knowledge and logic, we must know that as our own, not of anyone in particular. So we'll see you soon at 9. And thank you again. And Lekha Bhagat is saying, well, everybody, they're all, all this, I mean, I don't want to say much. Lekha Bhagat says, Dearest Parvathy, may Krishna's flute always be heard by you, Mother Goddess shine through you, and Shiva's silence protect you. Oh, actually, she's saying a note of, I mean, a good note for me too. She says, Thank you for a magical time and Bible Deep. That was to you and Bible Deep Singh for bringing us together and for all you're doing for us. Chalo, thodi si praise mere ko aa gayi, but still, I mean, this is too much. And Manjari ji says, She has reached us the innermost silence of her blissful music. Uh, but then she says, Thanks a lot, both of you. So, chalo, Manjari ji, आधा नाराज हूं मैं पूरा नहीं. And Pandit Somdat Bhattu was also here as a Vidwan from the mountains of Punjab. And he was also saying he was enjoying it much. And so many, many, many friends. And even Pandit Somdat Bhattu was saying, wonderful conversation. I'm enjoying, he said. I think before we began fighting. So at least we had him say that, in time. No, it's. Thank you all for joining. I'm so glad that you all could spare some time. I mean, a few hours with us on a Sunday evening. I mean, on a snobbery note or a narcissistic note, I mean, you should be grateful that we are all together here because what else you would have done on a Sunday afternoon? I mean, Parvati, you have to say that because nobody otherwise thanks me. So then I have to say I'm thanking myself on your behalf.
No, you're doing it well. So I don't have to do anything.
our cyber akhada,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so
It's
I'll
a
see you
great
at
job.
9. Yes, you want to say something to everyone before we
Yeah, of
call?
course.
Yeah.
I will see your comment later. And really happy that you all were with us. We are in satsang. It's more beautiful when I can see your face. But if not, I still feel your presence. So I pray for everyone's happiness, good health, and good time.
And I'm just adding a pinch of naughtiness and laughter along. Don't be too serious, people. As Guru Sahib says, हंसदियाँ बैठदियाँ हंसदियाँ बैठदियाँ उठदियाँ खेलदियाँ हंसदियाँ खेलदियाँ उठदियाँ बैठदियाँ विचे होवे mukti. Uh, Mukti happens in between. You don't need to run away from life. Indulge in life in an intelligent way. Satkarta to everyone. Khuda Hafiz. Namaskar. Me from Nizamuddin. Apai Baldeep Singh. Oh, Toda Apna, Toda Praya, Toda Jani Dushman from Delhi. And Parvathy Baul is joined live from Sanatan Siddhashram.
Siddharth.
I mean, I love that documentary you made. Very beautiful. But then I have to come and with my camera and do that too.
Yeah, you
So,
have to do a satsang.
yes, we will do that. वादा रहा. वो वादा जो मैं निभाता नहीं हूँ पर वादा रहा.
आप निभाते नहीं है, but I will make you nibhana.
आए हाय, look at that. चलो ये भी लड़ाई रहेगी हमारी. All right, I'll see you soon at 9. And then love to you all, everyone, from me and Parvathy. Satkarta.
Jai Guru.